Hi, Eduardo. Let's take a look at your new set of essays today. More fathers staying at home, mothers go out and work. Why? Basically, what could be the reasons, and is this positive or negative? So you've got a two-question essay here. Let's see how you dealt with it. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated the controversial topic of increasing stay-at-home fathers and the female workforce here. I believe this is because of societal shift. Here you're missing some articles. So here I believe this is because of a societal shift in equal opportunities, and it is a beneficial development to our society. This essay will argue both sides using examples from the Mexican government and Oxford University to demonstrate points to prove arguments. Okay? Good. I don't know necessarily that you need to argue both sides. Essentially, this is an essay where even if you just look at the questions, you can see there's two questions. So essentially all you need to do is answer each question in each paragraph. So a paragraph for each question. There's really no reason to go into both sides, like if it's beneficial and if it's not. So anyway, let's see what you actually did here. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that equal rights between man and woman because look, rights have changed over the last few decades. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, the equal rights, it should be an S here, movement has become more important for developed countries where governments have started to implement regulations. What do you mean by that? What regulations? Give us an example. Secondly, women throughout the world have obtained high-ranked positions in the government and top companies. For example, in the Mexican government, over 40% of members of parliament with a lowercase m are women, and they have implemented a law where 30% of the labor force of top companies has to be women. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that top executive women have favored women's rights. I don't understand this last sentence. You're telling us why this is happening, I guess, here? Okay, that's fine. You're supposed to tell us the reasons for this, but all right, let's move on. On the other hand, having more fathers doing household chores and taking care of their offspring was unthinkable in the 19th century. However, nowadays it is opening the doors for women to develop their professional career. Consistent with this line of thinking, technology, marketing, and designing companies are hiring more women to undertake executive positions. A recent study from Oxford University showed that 90% of all women in those companies have greater job performance than men. Thus, it's possible to state beyond doubt that women have become essential to the success of some enterprises. Okay. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that having a society with equal opportunities for men and women could bring great benefits to the world. It is predicted that equal rights will increasingly grow in importance. Okay. So, as you can see, I got through your essay really easily. There really wasn't much wrong in terms of language. So, vocabulary, grammar, well controlled. I saw some nice elements here. I'm not a huge fan of, I liked the word implemented a lot, but you used it twice in the same paragraph, and that's not such a great idea because when you use a more advanced word, it's nice, but then when you see it used again, especially like so soon after, it loses its effectiveness. Okay. Anyway, you did have some nice things here, but what I want to do, I want you to give me a minute to kind of think aloud. Now, as I told you in the beginning of your essay, as I read your introduction, this is a two-question essay, and typically this is what we do. What are the reasons why more mothers are going out and working? And is this positive or negative? You said it's a beneficial development. Okay, so fine. Now, as I said, people usually do this. They talk about the reasons. So why are more men staying at home and taking care of their children while women go out and work? You talked about women's equality, but what you didn't talk about was why men are staying home with the children. So yeah, great. We understand why more women are working, but you haven't really explained to us why more men are staying home. So that is really what you should have also addressed. So you could have talked about how women are now, you mentioned a couple of times that women are in top ranking positions in the government and top companies. You know, maybe they find that they realize that a family member needs to be home with the children. They don't want to hire, for example, a nanny or a babysitter. And financially, it makes more sense for the father to stay home, maybe because the woman is earning more money, and so it makes more sense to sacrifice the man's income and have the woman go in the workplace. Furthermore, you could have talked about how there is less of a stigma involved in a man staying home. With equality have come some rights for men, where men can now get paternity leave, whereas they were not able in the past. And so this increase in women's rights to pursue careers and to get up higher in the career ladder has also had some benefits for men, where they can too pursue what they want. And in some cases, that's the man staying home and working. So those were some of the reasons you could have pursued here in terms of why this is happening. Okay. So you talked about implementing regulations. Okay, great. You talked about women getting high-ranking positions. Yeah, but you didn't really talk about why the fathers are staying home, right? Okay. And so this is how I would have developed this paragraph. Then, in this paragraph, I would have said why I think this is positive or development. You said it's a positive development. So that's what I would have covered here. It is a positive development because, children can grow up with, a caregiver who is one of their parents. It used to be that it was either the woman, the mother, or else it was, like a nanny or, maybe a grandparent or something. Well, now, you've got the option of fathers taking on this role. And so this is wonderful because the father can bring certain elements to the upbringing of a child that, up to now weren't possible in to such an extent. You could have talked about how women bring such, a new kind of perspective to the workplace and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there are a lot of things you could have said as to why this is beneficial. Basically, it's allowing people to take on the role that suits them and their family best. Okay, so you could have talked about that in terms of why this is beneficial. All right. So I thought it was really strange that you said this essay will argue both sides, because you didn't. You didn't argue both sides. Okay. You talked about the positives here for the woman, and then you talked about you started talking about men here, but then you didn't. You ended up talking about women once again. So you didn't really talk about both sides. Okay. Even though you said you were going to. So you needed to essentially fix this. Okay. Number one, because it didn't have anything to do with how you actually developed your paragraphs. But I also think that you needed to develop your paragraphs more along the lines of what I'm suggesting rather than what you did. All right, I hope that all of this makes sense. I hope that it's clear how you should. It's really one of the clearest, cleanest ways to write an essay like this, where you've got two different questions being asked. Okay, so deal with one in one paragraph, and then talk about why it's positive or negative in the second body paragraph. Okay, but as I said before, in terms of language, in terms of vocabulary, grammar, all of this was really well controlled. Okay. And then, this was lovely too. It fit, it was fine. So let's move on to your task 1. If my mouse will just cooperate with me. There we go. Okay. Formal complaint. So some of your stuff was damaged while you were moving. Great. Let's see what you said. Dear sir, don't forget your comma. I'm writing to complain. Careful. Complain is a verb. Complaint is a noun. You don't want a noun. I'm writing to complain and express my dissatisfaction with the service provided by your moving company. I hired a truck driver and 2 packers to wrap and move my household goods from a house in Scarborough to an apartment in Toronto on November 8th, 2020. The service number is this. During the transfer, some of my furniture and glassware were damaged. The glass dining room table is broken, besides 2 mirrors, wine glasses, and plates. Furthermore, the wardrobe has many scratches on the side. All right, this is a really long kind of list. I would have liked to see this broken down to really kind of highlight your grammar and your language skills. I don't know why my mouse is not cooperating. Let me try it one more time. Here we go. There it is. So, during this transfer, some of my furniture and glassware were damaged. All right, you could have put a semicolon here or maybe even a full stop. The glass dining room table was broken in addition to, not besides, in addition to 2 mirrors, wine glasses, and plates. Full stop. Furthermore, The wardrobe has many scratches on the side. And then I think it works better like that. No? It seems that your movers did not wrap, not did not wrapped, did not wrap. You need a bare infinitive here. The furniture and glassware appropriately, and they were moving, and they moved the boxes carelessly. There's no reason to use a continuous tense here. According to the terms and conditions of your service, your company should refund the cost of any item damaged during the transit. I have attached pictures of the damaged items and some receipts. If you require additional information, please let me know. I hope you understand my situation and respond to this issue immediately. I am looking forward to hearing your prompt response. Yours faithfully. All right. Oh, that's very good. I like that. I thought you did a nice job. This is my only issue, as you could see. The rest of it was fine. It was just this one sentence that was awkward. So be aware of those kind of awkward, long, kind of list-like sentences. Break them up. Make them a little... give yourself an opportunity to kind of highlight and showcase some of your grammar, okay? Because otherwise you did really well. This was nice. If you require additional information, please let me know. Nice advanced grammar. It was actually quite a bit of advanced grammar here, and I liked it. So I thought you did well. It was just this one section. Okay, so go ahead, make changes to these. Let's see what you write in your next set. I'm waiting for them. I'm looking forward to it. So, all right, I guess I'll just wait for them. Good luck to you.